Look around you. The city streets are crowded with people, all searching for something. A connection, a spark, a person who feels like the one. They swipe, scroll, compare, chase desire endlessly. And they believe they're doing this freely. They believe every choice is theirs. But Schopenhauer looked at the very same scene almost 2 centuries ago and saw something far darker. He saw young men pacing the streets with the same restless hunger we see today, and he wrote a sentence that still cuts through the illusions of modern romance. A man can do what he wants, but he cannot want what he wants. In other words, you choose nothing. Something chooses through you. And once you understand this, dating looks less like freedom and more like a trap. The illusion of choice. Have you ever noticed how often your decisions feel free, but inside they feel forced? You think you're choosing who to talk to, who to meet, who to pursue, who to fall for. But Schopenhauer says the choice is already made before you even realize you're choosing. He believed every decision in dating begins as an unconscious impulse, not a rational evaluation. You react first, and only later, create a story to justify why. Think about it. You open a dating app, hundreds of faces fly past your eyes, and suddenly, you stop at one. Why that one? Why that face? Why that moment? You can invent a reason afterward. They look kind. They seem attractive. They feel familiar. But the truth is, something in you responded before your mind even woke up. According to Schopenhauer, that something is the will to life, a blind ancient force that uses you for one purpose, the continuation of the species. And this force does not care about your happiness. It does not care about your future. It only cares about reproducing itself. So when you choose someone, it is not really you choosing. It is evolution wearing your face. You don't control your desires. They control you. Schopenhauer compared consciousness to a lantern that shines only backward, meaning you understand your actions only after you've already taken them. Think of your last romantic decision. Was it logical? Or was it a sudden internal push, the kind that appears without asking for permission? That moment, that instant pull, is what Schopenhauer called the volitional impulse. It happens faster than thought, faster than awareness. You feel attracted first. You explain it later. Modern psychology agrees. Neuroscience shows the brain makes decisions milliseconds before we're consciously aware. Your choice is just the explanation. And dating apps make this even stronger. Algorithms show you what triggers you. Images are optimized to provoke desire before you can think. You react instantly. By the time your mind forms a sentence, your deeper impulses already made the decision. So the question is not, why do you like this person? The question is, what inside you decided before you even noticed? Attention, the most expensive thing you can lose. Schopenhauer said attention is the rarest resource a person has, and dating devours it silently. Think about the invisible cost. Waiting for a reply, analyzing a message, studying gestures, guessing moods, reading signals, checking notifications, comparing options. None of this builds your life. None of this moves you forward. It simply drains your mental energy, drop by drop. Schopenhauer warned that the will is always active. Even when you think you are resting, it keeps pushing you toward desire, expectation, and emotional dependency. And dating platforms amplify this dramatically. Every notification becomes a small hit of dopamine. Every match feels like validation. Every silence feels like rejection. Your day becomes a cycle of micro-hope and micro-disappointment. You become busy without achieving anything, active without being productive, connected without actually connecting. Dating becomes a full-time job with no salary, only emotional currency spent and lost. And the result? You feel tired, but you don't even know why. Desire never ends, and that's why you suffer. Schopenhauer wrote something brutally honest. Desire cannot satisfy itself. The moment one desire is fulfilled, another takes its place. Have you felt this? You meet someone, there's excitement, spark, possibility. Then soon, doubt, anxiety, comparison, fear. Because desire never rests. Modern dating makes this worse. Every swipe suggests something better might be waiting. Every profile feels like an alternative future. Every option becomes a reason to stay unsatisfied. You think you're searching for love. But Schopenhauer says what you're really chasing is relief. Relief from the tension that desire creates inside you. And that relief is always temporary. The moment the excitement fades, the will demands something new. This is why dating often feels like interest, hope, excitement, confusion, disappointment, emptiness. You aren't failing at dating. Dating is designed to fail because desire itself is never stable. Schopenhauer argued that peace doesn't come from getting what you want. Peace comes from understanding that desire has no ending. Why dating feels like a cycle you can't escape. Have you noticed that even when things finally go well, you still feel a quiet anxiety inside? That subtle tension, that expectation, that sense that something is missing? That's the will again. Schopenhauer believed this unconscious force uses humans like puppets. It pulls us from one emotional high to the next, never letting us settle. Dating, in his view, turns you into a servant of this internal restlessness. You wait. You hope, you worry, you interpret signs, you anticipate outcomes. Even during the happiest moments, part of you is already worried it will disappear. This is why even perfect relationships can feel unstable internally. The will wants movement, not satisfaction. Dating becomes a loop. You desire. You pursue. You lose interest. You desire again. And the loop never ends unless you see it clearly. The patterns of your past relationships often repeat without you noticing. You might be drawn to the same type of partner over and over, or you recreate the same conflicts in different forms. Your mind seeks familiarity, even if it brings discomfort. Breaking the cycle requires awareness, reflection, and conscious choice. When you recognize your role in the pattern, you can pause the loop. You can shift focus from chasing highs to building genuine connection. The moment you step out of the invisible tug-of-war, dating becomes a conscious adventure. You stop being a puppet and start being a participant in your own story. What you lose when you don't see the mechanism. Schopenhauer said the biggest tragedy is not heartbreak, it's wasted life energy. When dating takes over your attention, you lose time, you lose focus, you lose concentration, you lose your creative force, you lose the ability to go deep in your work, you lose yourself in constant micro-emotional turbulence. And because the emotional hits are small, you don't notice what you're losing until months or years are gone. He wrote, "The pleasures of the will vanish instantly. Their satisfaction is the shortest." Think about how fast the good moments in dating disappear. But the mental tension lasts. Schopenhauer believed true growth comes only from actions that create lasting results: work, creativity, discipline, self-development. But when your attention is tied to external reactions, you cannot build anything deep. You live on the surface of your own life. The only form of freedom Schopenhauer believed in. Here comes the most important idea. Schopenhauer did not say we should suppress desire. He did not say we should avoid love. He simply said, freedom begins when you observe your desires instead of blindly obeying them. You cannot stop the will, but you can stop acting like its puppet. Imagine living one single day without the pressure of waiting for messages, comparing options, predicting reactions, chasing approval. Imagine how much mental space you would reclaim. Imagine how much deeper you could think. Imagine how calm you could become. Schopenhauer believed calmness is the highest form of happiness because calmness is long, while desire is short. So why is dating the worst thing you can do? Not because love is bad, not because people are bad, but because dating pushes you to live entirely in the realm of impulse, outside your own control, wasting the only resource you cannot replace, your inner strength. And once you see this mechanism, your freedom begins. If this video gave you a new perspective on dating, desire, or the forces shaping your choices, take a moment to do something simple but meaningful. Hit the subscribe button and join this journey of understanding yourself and reclaiming your attention. Then tap the bell icon so you don't miss any new insights that help you live consciously instead of being pulled by impulses.